Too Fat to Play podcast. I am Austin. That is Ryan. Too Fat and Friends Fantasy League officially done for the 2024 season.
I just can't keep doing this, man.
And I got those wins in me going back to back.
Fuck, man. Fuck.
So, for those that didn't catch, or those that didn't know, the Too Fat to Play podcast is brought to you by Sticks Golf Lounge, Humboldt, Kansas, right on the square. Swing in, have a beer, have a round, tell them we sent you. Love those guys. Need to get over there here soon. It's not sure you're paying attention. It's supposed to get real cold real quick around here.
Real quick.
You know where it's not cold? In the freaking heated golf simulated booths with the bar right beside them. Sticks Golf Lounge. Go in, have a round, have a good time. Your back-to-back, reigning, defending, Too Fat to Play, or Too Fat and Friends podcast fantasy champion, me. God, I'm good at this. Stu also didn't start a quarterback. He literally has Jalen in his lineup still. Admittedly, not sure it would have made much of a difference, but he didn't start Geno, who scored like 10 points, which, you know, would have only made it a 70-point loss as opposed to an 80-point loss. Anthony Liu, love you, big guy. Liu money, self-proclaimed second place, since he would have absolutely nuked every other score, basically all the way through the playoffs.
Unfucking necessary, man. Unfucking necessary. And then the toilet bowl, what we're all here for.
Speaking it into existence.
Austin, you did it. I don't know exactly what collusion was involved in this one. You win the chip, and your dad wins the toilet bowl, which should be the toilet seat. Should be. What do you got? What's stewing upstairs?
There's still some fuckery afoot, admittedly. Me and you are going to have a nice little sit down about how stupid we're willing to be with things. But stay tuned. We will be going to the 2 episode a week system. Honestly, with the playoffs about, it'll probably just be 1 episode a week, especially since I've got the high school bowling season
coming up and
effectively upon us now.
The episodes are going to, if it is 2 episodes, they'll be much shorter, probably 15, 20 minutes apiece. Talking about the games can obviously run a little bit longer. We get opinions about that, but for the most part, this is the final episode of the Too Fat and Friends Season 2.
But keep an eye out for the special. There will be a recorded live unveiling, celebration, something or other. I'm not sure what. We'll call it jubilation for at least me. I mean, as a loser and the loser of the league. I'm not sure how you guys will feel about it. I do know how I'm going to feel walking in and out of that. I haven't decided what all that pertains. I haven't decided how and you know what? Maybe winning a bowling tournament here in the next couple weeks will decide just how fucking stupid I am with this. But I do have some thoughts in the works. Me and you will be having some conversations about what exactly this looks like. But yeah, first place for back-to-back seasons, and in case we're paying attention to high points, also high point scorer for the season.
Nobody gives a fuck about high points.
Well, I'm just saying, also in the history of the league, I'm also the highest scorer in the history of the league. I went back and looked at that, honestly just scrolling through trying to figure out, admittedly, just trying to figure out how to get Eddie Lacy on my roster for the last week. Since it is Too Fat to Play, I thought Eddie Lacy was a solid representative, and I didn't need Jameson Williams points anyhow. So I was trying my best to find somebody that was not in the league because they are indeed too fat to play. found out that I can manipulate some things. Also, look in the history of the league. Grand total points, I am now number one on that as well. Admittedly, I think I also have the least amount of points scored against me, but that's besides the point.
Bullshit. I was just looking. My team went 7-7. Placed 6th. I had the 5th points for and the 8th points against. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? I would hate to know what it's like to be like that.
We could talk about the other league.
We still both lost to the same person. Mine, goddamn, I didn't think about that. The same person took me, you, and Haley out in that league.
Yeah. Haley being the fucking back-to-back.
God. And if it helps, I finished the league 11-3 in first place. First in points scored, 12th in points against.
There's our standings. Jeez.
I didn't realize that was listed on there. I can't believe I'm 12th in points against. Like, I had some scores put against me. I mean, shit, I don't know. Oh, but so that leaves the official final standings. I took first, Stu in second, Whacker takes third, Disbro takes fourth, Lou takes fifth. Well, no, that's playoff seedings. I take first, Stu takes second, Lou takes third, Whacker fourth, Disbro fifth, you get sixth. And then we've got, where's seventh? Where's seventh place? I'm so confused on how this works.
So it'd be the winner of 8th place. So Kareem Pies, Beefsteak, and then
Sean, Brett, DWAC, and rounding us out, Dreams of Glory for the Toilet Bowl. It's a good season. It was a fun season.
It was fun.
I sure do enjoy this league.
It was fun. This might be my most fun league. Got them in 5. I need to really drop that number down some more.
I'm in 2. I think I could probably get to 3. I just don't know that I want to, because I can take care of all of my fantasy stuff in like 15 minutes. Done. Don't think about it again. I just don't know that I really want to go to a third one. I think if it was the right circumstance.
Don't do it.
I mean, if it was like a family league or something like that, I think I get involved. As far as an additional money league or whatnot, probably not getting into it. But this one's the most fun because the 3 individual defenders, I will say, are definitely
that's kind of
the MVP of my team. Was my defense all year long, whether it be a Louis Kuhn or Brian Branch. Like those guys for me were definitely the lifeblood of my team. Ernest Jones spent a lot of time on my roster late. Buda Baker honestly took a spot on my bench most of the end of the year. Last like 7 weeks he's been either I put him in like when I had bye weeks. But I mean he was always scoring like 20 points. I tried to go for the higher ceiling in what I thought. Because honestly my roster itself isn't bad, but I mean Jonathan Taylor finally came on for the playoffs. Josh Jacobs has been good, not awesome, but good all year. McLaurin, Devontae Adams, Jamison Williams been up and down. Ladd McConkey. I said it going into the season. I thought Ladd had the chance to be one of those MVP style players, and offensively he just might be my offensive MVP.
I mean, outside of my running backs, Lamar Jackson didn't do what he should have done all season. He's having an MVP caliber season. It didn't show up in fantasy. Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook, that was one hell of a 1-2 punch at the running back position. Then Adam Thielen, DK Metcalf, Mike Williams, that just kind of not great. George Pickens and Ricky Pearsall on my bench. Outside of that, I also had Bijan Robinson. I had a great running back room. And there for a long time, a good portion of the season, they carried this team. A couple of guys in and out with injuries. Starting Ricky Pearsall would have done me a lot of good Sunday, or I guess Monday night, in a useless game for 5th place. But no, my defense as well. Bobby Wagner, Xavier McKinney, and Mac Wilson. He started out for me. I can't remember who the fuck I drafted.
You drafted Jones, didn't you?
I traded for Jones.
You traded for Jones, okay.
And then, yeah, he didn't. But Brian Burns, that's who it was. When Brian Burns was out, having somebody to. Xavier McKinney might be my first overall pick next year. He was averaging like 25.
So, looking at it, I've got the season points totals pulled up. Top 10 players in this fantasy league for points scored. Lamar Jackson, number 1 overall.
Did not. He had such big weeks. Then he'd come back and have a 10-point game.
Mm-hmm.
He was feast or famine. Instead of just being a consistent 40 points like he has been the last 3 years, never on my roster. Throw him on my roster, and he's 70 points or 5.
Number 2, Zaire Franklin. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Jamar Chase. Number 5, Zach Bond. Number 6, Saquon. Number 7, Joe Burrow. Number 8, Robert Spillane, who's not on a roster. Number 9, Budda Baker. And number 10, Caden Ellis. That was the top.
That's a good split.
I like it.
I think you kind of got what you were looking for. I wish you could quantify shutting down a wide receiver.
Yeah.
0 targets, or if they had 10 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards type of thing.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to quantify that. There's not.
Yeah.
There is. Sleeper isn't doing it yet that I'm aware of.
So, to my knowledge, it's not being done as of yet. I've looked through all the point stuff. So it's hard to, the true lockdown corners really aren't valuable in this league.
You need the guys, your safeties,
your linebackers, your second corners. Your defensive tackles unfortunately don't score much, but I'm happy with
ends depending on who it is.
Say defensive ends can kind of be feast or famine.
That's a match. If you're looking for a streamed third, look at defensive ends week in, week out in this league. That's going to be the big thing.
Yeah, but say it's a good season. I mean, I think all the linebackers or all the defensive players that made the top 10 outside of Budda Baker are linebackers, and Budda Baker is kind of that hybrid linebacker safety. But I really like how the defense is being towards the top. I said it when we started this. I would like defensive players to be first-round consideration guys. Well, I mean, if you take the top 10 point scorers, guess what? They are. So I think we're in a good spot there. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. Maybe some small tweaks coming. We're going to do some setup differences for next season. So I'm going to start sending messages out well before season starts next year. Because I do want this to go to. I want there to be a prize pool. I want there to be if nothing else, I want there to be enough to fund a loser's celebration, punishment, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I would like there to be some of that involved with this. So there will be some conversations had. There will be some changes made. So we'll be involved with some of that. But I really like where the league is sitting at. I really like how things are looking for the league, for the vision that we had going into this thing of making it more than just a standard fantasy football league.
Right.
And I mean, if I can figure out how to score it where kickers, field goals are worth 1 and a kicker getting a tackle is worth 100, you bet your ass I'll figure out how to get it in there.
Missed field goals are minus 50.
Yeah.
Don't draft Jake Moody.
He doesn't miss. terribly often.
Not before his ankle injury.
Yeah. So, with that, that is the final recap. Too Fat and Friends. Appreciate you guys playing along, and we will figure out some form of league meeting to get everything else ironed out. But until then, we will see you guys in the big show.
Deuces.